Because the title of mine was, the pros and cons of AI, and I think that we're really in the early stages. We talk about artificial intelligence, but some people call it artificial ignorance. So it's really in the early days. I gave an example of if you just put a sticker on a stop sign, it's almost impossible for the car to understand what that is. So we need strategic vigilance, I think. This idea that AI is going to take over the world, I don't think that's the case because it's such an unknown. I think it creates some fears, but I think we need more people out there who understand it so they can help make better policy. And the more people know, the better off they are. They shouldn't try to avoid it because I think it's too technical.
I do think that we need to, including myself, we need to learn a lot more. I think this is what has become very clear. I mean, when Professor Bast was pointing out so many times, this is not AI, this is just data analytics. I think we need to be very specific. We need to learn to be specific about what we actually talk about in order to also mitigate fear. And I think this is really, for me, I'm going home and saying, I need to learn a little bit more about this.
For the progress of AI, my personal belief is that if all countries come together as an international community to forge international understanding, awareness, maybe regulations, and also cooperation in different technological fields, we can benefit all of mankind. Competitions are needed and are helpful, but bad competition would lead us actually to a stop of technological advances. So I would definitely say that it is important to have international cooperation. I'm glad to have this great chance today, and I see actually voices from the students like us and the young generations keeping up, so I think that's really great.
Most people talking about it don't really have a technical background, right? But these are the people, just because of their number, because it's the bigger number, they are creating the opinions. So that's a problem. One thing which I talked about is the separation of, you have the group of technical people and you have the group of the decision makers, politicians and so on. And for some reason these groups do not mix. So very often in the decision maker groups you have 0 people with a technical background. And it's somehow, I don't really think it's the fault of any one person, but that's just how it is, right? If you don't have some diversity to start with, it has a tendency to stay like this, right? So it's not really mixing, and I think we need to do something there. If you don't know anything, then discussions very quickly become, oh, this could happen, let's try this is an idea, right? The space of things to explore becomes too big, and you can make crazy decisions.
So thank you very much for this wonderful afternoon, which I really enjoyed, talking about my digital revolution, artificial intelligence, and advantages, disadvantages, ethical questions. So I think we've looked at it from many perspectives, and it was a great pleasure being here anytime again.
I think it's a great opportunity for the college as such, but also for the Freiburg community to have an access to the school and to listen also to the students. I think it's fantastic by the organizers from Carl-Schurz-Haus, bwcon, Freiburg Digital and so on, and the sponsors to make this possible.